Hello, welcome everyone. We're just letting the room fill up. All right, let's get started. My name is Emily Badix. I am co-director here at the San Francisco Disability Cultural Center. Some access notes. We're going to leave chat on for this event to be able to respond to your questions when you need some clarifications for Supernova's instructions. If this poses a hurdle for you, you can go to video settings, select accessibility, and then unclick the box for public in-meeting chat has been received. If you can't access chat, we'll let you know what's going on in that space throughout the program. To participate in today's program, you can turn your video on if you want to dance as a collective experience. You can also totally okay to keep your camera off. That might just feel far too vulnerable, and that's okay as well. We're here for you, showing up however feels the coziest for you today. You can get help by reaching out directly to me with a direct message. You can unmute and ask for help if you need to, or you can email access@disabilityculturalcenter.org if that's an easier way for us to troubleshoot. We'll keep an eye on that space. Now, onwards to what we're here for today. I am so grateful to Supernova for trying something out with this class today. We've done a couple of bachata classes now with Danny, and we said, what else do you want to play with? And they had expressed this as kind of a dream of like having a grief movement body class. And they weren't even fully sure yet what that was going to look like. And we said, like, please figure it out, do it with us, because grief is very, very real in our community. And, the Disability Cultural Center does a lot of events with joy and care, but we also want to hold space for some of the harder feelings. And that's what today's event is for. We know that so many people in our community are deep in grief right now. This time of year can bring up a lot of extra feelings of grief. And we just feel really honored and grateful that so many people signed up to share this space and to be in community tonight with all of you. So with that, I'm so honored to get to introduce Supernova to you all. Supernova, thank you for giving us this space, and I will pass it to you.
Everyone, it is so good to be here. My name is Supernova. My pronouns are they, them, and if you speak Spanish, ella. As Emily said, this is a dream class for me, and I've actually been able to do this a few times since I've mentioned it, and it has been a transformative experience for the students as well as for myself. And that's something I want to name. I am holding space for this and providing tools and a guide on how to move emotion through the body, because whether we are aware of it or not, and I want to note, movement is a flexible term in this class. It can be physical movement, but it can also be energetic movement. Because when we're thinking, our thoughts move as well. And so with movement, we move emotion through the body, whether we are aware of it or not. And so I am not immune to the experience. I am holding this space, so I don't tend to feel it as deeply as everyone. However, if you see a little tear slide down my face, that is normal, and I'm totally okay. There is no right or wrong way to move, whether that is, again, physically or energetically moving the ideas of kind of what I'm saying. Often this class is centered as a dance class, but dance is movement, dance is energy. It can look like stillness, it can look like small gestures, and it can look like a full body experience. I trust that you keep your access needs in mind and that you listen to yourself and have that self-awareness to take as many breaks as you need, to step away if needed. To reiterate, you are welcome to have your camera on, but you can also turn your camera off because this can be a very vulnerable experience. And then lastly, I have a few memory related disabilities. So if you see me looking down a bit, that's just my lesson plan reminding me where I'm at. Also, everything is a suggestion. I'm here to guide you in this experience. But again, remember to listen to your own body. And if I suggest that we move into something that just does not feel right to you, feel free to exist in that space, however you need. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start. And we're all here for grief, and grief can look a ton of different ways. The most obvious way people think of grief is the loss of a life, but it can be the loss of a relationship. It can be a transition in life. It looks many different ways. It's not always clean. It can be messy. It's not linear, and it lasts as long as it needs to last. And sometimes we can feel like the rest of the world forgets that. And I want to let you know that your grief is valid and that I want you to feel like you can show up as you are. So we're going to start off with a little bit of a reflection. I'm going to play a song. And during this song, you have a few options of what you could do during this time. You could journal about your grief and how you're feeling about it. You could draw. You could sit with the emotion and just kind of let a stream of consciousness go. You could also type into the chat if you would like. Yes. And a reminder that in terms of like the chat and all that, everything that we say stays between us. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys started. First song, just we want to start by sitting with our emotions. Here we go. All right. Okay, so I hope that that was helpful to kind of bring that forward, kind of set us into this space. I want to transition us into a bit of a meditation. It's going to be a bit of a two-part meditation. I'm going to start by guiding you guys through some box breathing. And if you've never done box breathing before, essentially the way we're going to set this one up, you're going to inhale for 4, you're going to hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again. And you just repeat this cycle. I want to note that breathing doesn't always feel relaxing to everyone. So if that is true for you, and that comes up, just maybe paying attention to our breathing as it normally is. This is definitely something that used to be very difficult for me because it requires you to be very present and in tune with your body. And so I'll start by guiding that, but when I stop guiding it, I ask that you continue with it. I'm going to read something for y'all. And as you're doing this breathing and as you're listening to the reading that I'm going to do, I would like for you to close your eyes and imagine a safe space. Where is that safe space? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? And this safe space, you want it to be a place where you feel like you can have those emotions. So just inviting you to transport yourself to that space. So let's go ahead and start with our box breathing. So we're going to go ahead and breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own. I'm going to go ahead and read for you guys this reading. My brain and heart divorced over who was to blame about how big a mess I have become. Eventually, they couldn't be in the same room with each other. Now my head and heart share custody of me. I stay with my brain during the week, and my heart gets me on the weekends. They never speak to one another. Instead, they give me the same note to pass to each other every week. And their notes they send to one another always say the same thing. This is your fault. On Sundays, my heart complains about how much my head has let me down in the past. And on Wednesdays, my head lists of the times my heart has screwed things up for me in the future. They blame each other for the state of my life. There's been a lot of yelling and crying. So lately, I've been spending a lot of time with my gut, who serves as an unofficial therapist. Most nights, I sneak out of the window in my rib cage and slide down my spine and collapse on my gut's plush leather chair that's always open for me. And I just sit, 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 sit until the sun comes up. Last evening, my gut asked me if I was having a hard time being caught between my heart and my head. I nodded. I said I didn't know if I could live with either of them anymore. My heart is always sad about something that happened yesterday, while my head is always worried about something that may happen tomorrow, I lamented. My gut squeezed my hand. I just can't live with my mistakes of my past or my anxiety about the future, I sighed. My gut smiled and said, in that case, you should go stay with your lungs for a while. I was confused. The look on my face gave it away. If you're exhausted about your heart's obsession with the fixed past and your mind's focus on the uncertain future, your lungs are a perfect place for you. There is no yesterday in your lungs. There is no tomorrow either. There is only now. There is only inhale. There is only exhale. There is only this moment. There is only breath. And in that breath, you can rest while your heart and your head work their relationship out. This morning, while my brain was busy reading the tea leaves, and while my heart was staring at old photographs, I packed a little bag and walked to the door of my lungs. Before I could even know, she opened the door with a smile, and as a gust of air embraced me, she said, "What took you so long?" Take a moment to come back into the room. When you're ready, if your eyes were closed, softly open your eyes. Take a look around the room. You're here, we're here together, and we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to move into a warm-up. I'm going to play some music during this warm-up, and I'm going to give you some prompts of what to do. Yes? For the first song, we are going to start with some swaying and a reminder that movement is flexible. So again, that swaying could be small, it could be in your head, it could be your shoulders, it could be your hands, it could be the mental image of swaying. You could think about swaying. You could get up and sway. So I'll play that first song, and I just want you to sway. And I will stand up and I will also give that example. I may come down to sit in case any questions pop up in the chat. Here we go.
I can see the change. Come what may, I won't regret the day. I can see the change, feel the pace of everything. Who am I, teary-eyed? Who are you in your life? Are you dumb enough to pass the time? Oversold and out of life. No, it's not for me anymore. No, it's not for me anymore. No, it's not for me anymore, anymore. I can see the change better than I fool does. Doesn't mean I'll adjust. Standing out like I need to now, like a fool does. Let the world adjust. I can't see the change. Come with me, I won't regret today. I am what remains, standing here in spite of everything. No, it's not for me anymore. No, it's not for me anymore. No, it's not for me anymore, anymore.
All right, welcome back from that. I want to note that swaying and or the box breathing are a really good practice in between each section. If you get overwhelmed, it's very likely that that could happen. It's likely that you could cry, and you might not, and that's okay. Honor your process. Don't judge your process. But if you need something, the swaying could be a good little tool in between everything. Yes? So now we're going to move on to shaking. I'm going to put on another song. This song is a little bit more upbeat. And once more, a reminder of the flexibility of movement. Yes, you can imagine shaking if that feels good. You can shake your hands. You can shake whatever part of your body feels accessible and good. I'm going to play the song. Shaking is a really good way to release from that kind of wall that we build up around the emotion, which that wall, obviously, we know is here to protect us. But sometimes it needs to come down so that we can feel. Yes, and this is a safe space to do so. So I'm going to play that song, and I invite you to shake in whatever way feels true to you.
La querían bajar, tumba, la querían bajar, tumba, la querían bajar, tumba, 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 por todo lo que sabía. La querían bajar, tumba, la querían bajar, tumba, la querían bajar, tumba, 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 porque hacía lo que quería. La querían bajar, tumba, la querían bajar, tumba, la querían bajar, tumba, 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 porque salía de noche por como salía de noche por cómo se vestía, porque fumaba hierba y a nadie obedecía, porque tomaba trago, bailaba todo el día, por puta, por monja, por fea, bandida. Me venían diciendo, me querían quemar, ya no tengo miedo, me quité el disfraz, hago lo que quiero, no me va a callar, pero en el intento de hacerme escuchar. Hinojo, borrajarte mis manojo de ruda, plumas de quetzal, hierba gatera, cardo bendito, cuarzo, un puñado de sal. Santa María, soy tan pecadora, ¿será que me podré salvar? Por mi culpa, por mi culpa, por mi culpa, por mi culpa, por mi culpa. Me venían diciendo, me querían quemar, ya no tengo miedo, me quité el disfraz, hago lo que quiero, no me va a callar, pero en el intento de hacerme escuchar.
Whew. A reminder, those are some big movements. Probably moved a bit around us. Take a moment to sway if you need it. Yeah, woo, indeed. I had started hopping and I'm an upstairs neighbor, so I stopped hopping. Okay, we're the dog I'm caring for shook with me. Oh, I love to hear that. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. So, what we're going to do next is emotion association through the body and or through the room. Yes. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe some feelings, and I want you to move, again, remembering that movement is a flexible term, move in however way you think that emotion feels in movement. And there may be some words that maybe you're not too familiar with. And I want you to imagine what you wish it felt like. Yes. And a reminder, these are optional guides. If one of those words really sits with you and you want to stay in that word, and I've moved on, please stay there. Yes. If you want to revisit a word, please stay there. I'm going to play some music. The music won't be as loud because I will be speaking these guides. I will be going through this for about 10 minutes. Okay, let me just set up my music.
Danny, this is Emily. A quick question of move as in shift, or can you clarify a little bit more what that movement could be?
Yes. So once more, movement as a flexible term. So it could, again, look like small gestures. I'm going to describe an emotion. So through those gestures, you can imagine what they might look like. You can do it with your whole body, or you can imagine with your mind what that emotion looks like moving. And that could be imagining someone moving, that could be imagining air moving, it could be water, it could be lines, it could be this energy that you see. Does that clarify? Fabulous. Okay, thank you for the question. All right. Let me play the songs. And the first, just to get you guys started, the first emotion we're going to go through is sadness. So here we go. Take a moment to imagine what sadness looks like.
Je te laisserai des mots en dessous de ta porte, en dessous de la mur qui chante, tout près de la place où tes pieds passent.
Transitioning into frustrated. What does frustration?
Et quand tu restes abandonné, ramasse-moi. Quand tu voudras, ramasse-moi. Quand tu voudras, ramasse-moi. Quand tu voudras.
Moving into what does overwhelmed look like? A reminder, there is no correct way to move this into your body. Trust where it's moving into anger. What does anger like feel like? Let your body take you on this journey.
There is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home.
We're confused. What does confused look like?
For you, for me, until you disappeared. For me.
What does hope look like? What does hope feel like?
Out in the garden where we planted the seeds, there is a tree as old as me. Branches were sown by the color of green. The ground had a rose then past its knees. By the cracks of his skin I climbed to the dawn. I climbed the tree to see the world. When the guys came around to blow me down, held on as tightly as you held on to me. Held on as tightly as you held on to me.
Go ahead and try love. What does love look like? There was any emotion that really stuck with you, I invite you to explore it again for this last minute of music. Let your body feel and move in whatever way feels authentic, in whatever way feels necessary. A reminder that breaks are welcome whenever. A reminder to take a moment to sway if needed. We went through some emotions that may have felt really present. Sorry, I stepped back. We went through some emotions that may have felt really present to you recently in terms of your grief, emotions that maybe don't, or emotions that you like to have, like to lean into. It can feel like a lot. So take a moment to sway. Maybe take a few breaths. Maybe we inhale and we exhale. One more time, we inhale, exhale. All right, so this next portion, we are not going to play any music. We have now been exploring a few different ways that we can imagine movement, embody movement. And so we have what I would call a little bit of a library of movement. Yes, a library of diverse movement. So with that, you are welcome to apply some of that here or rethink it. We're going to do a word association, um, exercise. So I'm going to give you some words, and I'd like for you to imagine what that looks like. Embody that, whether that is energetically or, once more, a reminder, you can use small gestures, or full body expression, or whatever feels good to you. For most of these, they're kind of going to be polar opposites. Yes. Um, Here we go. I love seeing everybody's feedback on how things felt. Um, yeah, everyone has a very different journey. And so, whatever felt right to you, whatever ways it came up, I love that there is a self awareness happening here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. And I'm going to stay here, and I'll do some smaller movements, and a reminder that when I was back there moving, that's just me doing the movements as well in the way that feels right for me in this moment. So we're going to start off with shrink. I want you to imagine shrink. What does that look like? Now maybe expand. What is expand? How about rigidity? Into fluidity? What does heavy look and feel like? Moving into light. What does light feel like? How about fast? Slow? Maybe sharp? Soft? Reaching out? Bringing in? Pushing away? Struggle? Ease? Groundedness? flying, or soaring. Lastly, stillness. All right, a reminder to do some swaying, a reminder that that can be energetically or physically, whatever feels best for you. It's funny, these words are just words, but they can embody feelings. I know in the past, for me, heavy has brought up so much. Ranking, flying. I can be transported sometimes to a time that made me feel those things, which can be a little overwhelming, but also a little amazing how movement and words can help us access emotion. So with that, again, we have a vocabulary of movement in whatever way you're embodying that. For the last part of our movement, I'm going to play a song, and I am going to give you guys the song to do some free movement. Yes, it's your choice what you do during this song. And that could even look like laying down. That could look like sitting. That could look like stillness. That could look like a lot of movement, not very much movement. It can be really inward. Yeah, sitting with the sounds and what it evokes. So just take this song to allow yourself to freely move in whatever way that is. A reminder, energetically, small gestures, stillness, full body. All right, here we go.
Disfrutamos de cada pecado, nos reímos y lloramos y nos vieron despeinarnos por ahí. Nos comimos a bocados, nos dormimos en los brazos de domingos de resaca por Madrid. Y perdimos la vergüenza y las llaves. Desmontamos cada calle del revés. Me pusiste la luna en las manos, te gané sin temblar de un asalto. Nos rompimos el alma en pedazos. Me reclaman los daños y no estás aquí. Me niego a borrar los mensajes. Prender fuego a la casa no sirve. El amor cambia, nunca se extingue. Cualquier día la lluvia nos vuelve a sentir, sentir. Con la miel en los labios. Fue en el taxi del beso robado, donde al fin pude huir del pasado. No digas nada, tan solo recuérdame así. Escondimos las heridas, ya lo sabes. No encontramos las respuestas ni el porqué. Me pusiste la luna en las manos, te gané sin temblar de un asalto. Nos rompimos el alma en pedazos. Me reclaman los daños y no estás aquí. Me niego a borrar los mensajes. Prender fuego a la casa no sirve. El amor cambia, nunca se extingue. Cualquier día la lluvia nos vuelve a sentir. Y en el fondo yo sé que esto no se acaba aquí. Cualquier día la lluvia nos vuelve a sentir con la miel en los labios.
Right. A reminder to take a moment to sway if needed. We're going to go into our closing. We're going to do some grounding. I can imagine that this has opened up a bit for some of y'all or for all of y'all. And sometimes going into these emotions can bring on a level of dissociation. And as someone who has a dissociative disability, I want to state that sometimes dissociation feels safer for us. So although I'm going to go into a grounding exercise, if you don't want to leave dissociation because it feels safe right now, please don't. Yeah, just you can listen, you can lay down, you can step away, whatever feels right. But otherwise, we're going to go ahead and go into some grounding. Okay. So I invite you guys, wherever you are, to close your eyes. And I'd like you to think about where you feel the pull of gravity in your body. Yes. Where do you feel that pull? Think about that. Allow yourself to feel it. And I'd like for you to imagine an anchor descending past the earth, past the ground below us, anchoring you to this space. Yes. From there, feel that anchor and that groundedness move throughout your entire being and let it transcend. Yes, it can be from the floor all the way to the ceiling, and it's holding you here in this room with all of us. You are here. You are grounded, and your anchor is below the ground, and it's holding all of you, and it's holding the energy above you as well. And now I'd like for you to imagine a flower of your choosing in whatever color in front of you. Yes. Imagine that flower. What color is it? What might it smell like? What does it look like? And I'd like for you to take what you're feeling right now in this moment, maybe some of the good feelings, some of the hard feelings. I want you to sweep it through your body, over the crown of your head, and I want you to send that energy into that flower. Imagine those emotions moving through your body, going out the top of your head and into this flower. The flower is absorbing the energy. And when you're ready, this flower is going to explode in a beautiful way, kind of like a supernova. And it's going to give off this dusty, glittery explosion. And I want you to reabsorb that energy. Yes, let it wash over you. Let it give you calmness. Let it give you whatever you feel like you need in this moment. And when you're ready, I'd like for you to softly open your eyes, or softly listen back into this room. And I'd like for you to pay attention to what's in the room, whether that's the noises around you or whether that is the things in front of you. Come back into focus. Okay, so done a little bit of grounding work, I have one last thing to send us off with. And then if anybody afterwards feels called to share, we have until 6:40. And I like to allow that. You can also type it in. But first, what we're going to do is something I love to do in my classes called intentional rest. We live in a hustle culture, capitalistic society, and rest is stigmatized. It is viewed as lazy. It is something that you quote unquote have to earn. And you can only have it when you are some form of exceptional, according to the world, not to me. But rest is so important, and our body demands it when we need it, especially when we ignore it. So I'd like for us to take some time. I'm going to play a song, and I want you to rest. I don't want you to do anything. If you have devices near you, put them away. You may embody this in whatever way you want, but I invite stillness. And I want to also acknowledge that in relation to grief and loneliness, grieving, sometimes people feel like we grieve longer than expected and that we have to stop resting. And I say, heck no to that. Take as much rest as you need. Listen to your body. So here we go. I'm going to play one song.
I don't wanna be here every day. It's kinda late for me to switch the page. Will I feel it when I hit the pavement? On the edge and I'm just stuck debating. Wanna go home. Rainy days seem like an occupation. Rainy days seem like the everyday shit. So I ask myself, am I for sure? Am I enough? 'Cause I might just go when times get tough, but I can't let go when I'm healing. When I'm healing. When I'm healing.
I didn't wanna be here anyway. It's kinda late for me to switch the play. I pack my bags and then I hit the pavement. This depression's just an occupation. I wanna go home, wanna go home. Up and down, I'm always switching places. My reflection always loves to hate me. It's when I ask myself,
Am I for sure? Am I enough? 'Cause I might just go when time
take your time to come back into the room with the rest of us. And of course, when I say room, I mean this virtual room. I hope that felt good for y'all. We are a little bit over time. So I don't know that we will do shares. However, I encourage you to share anything in the chat about how this felt. It could be a one-word checkout. It can be a whole paragraph if you'd like. I'd also like to remind y'all to take some time for yourself this evening. For some of us, this might have brought up a lot of big feelings, and it's important. Yeah, I just saw it. Hydrate. Please, which is a really fabulous reminder for me to hydrate as well. Please do something nice for yourself tonight. Yeah, do something additionally. If journaling feels good, sometimes I like to video diary. Taking some more time after this to sit and rest, whatever it is, we went through some big old feelings tonight. I'm just looking through the chat right now. Yeah, well, I want to thank you guys so much I love seeing everything that's coming up. I want to thank you guys so much for showing up for yourself today, really, is what this is. Showing up for yourself and being open to this experience. This is my first time doing it with the Disability Cultural Center. So just know that I'm always open to feedback. And I thank you guys for being here. You will see more offerings like this for me. If you want to stay connected with me, I'll drop my Instagram in the chat, which is also my TikTok. And I will also drop my email in case anyone wants to directly give me feedback or share anything. That is absolutely welcome. / stay in contact with my offerings. I am a professional dancer and event curator here in the Bay Area. All of the events and classes that I have power over are mask required. I'm really big on access. Clearly, it's something that's really important to me. It's obviously something that's important in this room. So yeah, thank you guys so much. All right, Emily, back to you.
Thank you so much, Supernova. I'm just seeing so much love pouring into the chat for the space you offered today. Just to kind of summarize some of the things that have been shared there, people have shared a lot of grief for specific people that they've lost recently. I heard mentions of Patty Byrne, Alice Wong, somebody had recently lost a grandparent. I also heard grief of some of the systemic violence that this community is facing from gradually watching more and more masks mandates being rolled back to other, daily experiences of navigating this moment that we're in. So I just feel really extremely grateful to have gotten to spend this time with you all for all of that openness and just being able to be raw together. I am so grateful to Supernova for facilitating this space, for thinking so creatively about how to make it accessible, and just the pacing, the music choices you brought, many, many requests for your playlist, Supernova, if you're willing to share it in the chat. And we invite you to continue to bring your grief to the DCC. We have a Discord on dcc.page/Discord. We'll drop that into the chat. We specifically have a grief channel inside of that space because we know grief far too well in disability community. We know that we need some place to be able to express it and let it out. We also have a few more events coming up in 2025 that we invite you to. We're closing out the year with a lot of great stuff. We have a Care Work as Mutual Aid event coming up tomorrow afternoon with a really powerful lineup of speakers. Next week, we have an in-person tea party, co-presented with Alice Wong and the Disability Visibility Project. That's a cookie swap too, if you want to bring cookies to share. But we'll have lots of stuff there. Alice's goal was that it be an event of abundance, so we're trying to make sure that happens. We're going to drop our link tree in the chat so you can follow us on social media, on our newsletter, and click to access the calendar to sign up for those upcoming programs. And just a reminder that today's program was presented to you by the San Francisco Disability Cultural Center, which is a program of LC and Lily Cox Haven of Hope, with financial contributions from the City of San Francisco's Human Service Agency's Department of Disability and Aging Services. So thank you all for being here. We are so grateful to have spent this time with you. And we remind you to take care of yourself. I really appreciate the groundings that Supernova ended us with. So remember to keep those with you throughout the rest of the night or whenever these moments happen. And yes, I see a request for can we do this monthly or as often as capacity allows. Believe me, one of the other co-directors and I were already scheming while this was going on and going, okay, when are we going to schedule the next one? So would love to make this possible again. We will be reaching out to you, Supernova. We'll make it happen. Thank you all. Thanks for being with us. And good night.